Hi, my name is Alan, and I'm a pastor of the new church at Boynton Beach. I feel like Mr. Evil right now with Ziggy. The dean of the theological school, he said, don't become a minister unless you have no other choice but to be a minister. And his point was that it has to be that kind of dedication. And I'm not trying to say I do anything amazing, it's just that like if I were to tell some stories like of some of the little things that people have done, like my motorcycle accident that I had when I was in Georgia, the guy that came across the parking lot, he just went, can I hold you? Never had another grown man ask me that. But he got down onto the pavement with me and just held me there until the ambulance got there. And then he got up and disappeared. When I found out my brother passed away, I was on a flight from Atlanta to Philadelphia, and I didn't get my messages until I was in Atlanta. And so I talked to my dad, and he let me know he'd passed when I was in Georgia on my layover. And this guy that was sitting right next to me said to me, I couldn't help but overhear your conversation. I lost my brother at about that age. I barely remember the rest of what he said, but his presence was so comforting. So, when I look back on those moments and think about how powerful they are to me, and how they probably don't have any idea how powerful they are to me. I want to be in those moments for other people. I don't want to be crying this much, but I didn't expect it. If the opportunity's there, I want to be that guy that runs across the street and just is there. I want to be the guy that's next to you in the plane. And so eventually, that's what led me to ministry, in my opinion. I guess in the history of it is, I became a much more dedicated person after my brother's passing. He was just the kind of guy that cared for people in such a deep way. And so after his passing, I felt like I kind of had to be more dedicated in life. Maybe it was a bit of, living his legacy, but it became me more and more. Of course, I'd prefer to have him here. But I wouldn't be who I am now if it hadn't happened. Nothing bad happens without having beneficial results. To change who you are, to be less concerned with what you want but what is good, is awesome. I love doing it. It's hard, and there are a lot of things that I still refuse to do. There are a lot of habits I still refuse to break, and I know that. But I know from my own experience, whether that's with anger or lust or whatever it is, when I put what's good ahead of what I want, eventually I know I'm a happier person, and I've experienced that over and over.
Hit the stop button. It's not the record button, it's the stop.
I hit the stop button.
Great. And
47 minutes.
Great.
And
And
8
you can
seconds.
unplug that device when I get here.